Theatrical Shenanigans with
Peter Fenton.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 7 of this 5th season of Theatrical Shenanigans. I can hardly believe we're almost at the end of this season, but don't worry, we still have several more fabulous plays for you to listen to and guests for me to chat to. Speaking of which, my guest today is a Pennsylvania-based writer and director creating stories for stage and screen that make audiences laugh, think, and occasionally squirm. His off-Broadway debut dark comedy Abandon All Hope premiered at Theatre Row in 2023, and his teen satire Coronation had its world premiere in 2024. His film work has also earned awards on the international festival circuit, and if all that wasn't enough, he also works in marketing at Passage Theatre Company and freelances with MacArthur Theatre Centre and other regional arts organisations. Quite a busy man. It's a thrill to have him here. Welcome, Peter Fenton.
Hi, it is great to be here. Thank you, Rachel, for having me.
It's fabulous to have you here. So, as always, we start right back at the very beginning. What got you started in the arts world?
So I've always loved stories, and so naturally I got involved with school plays as soon as possible because I've always been kind of a hammy attention hog kind of kid. And so I was in my middle school play. I was 14 years old, and I was in a play that was like I'd been in a couple plays by this point. So this was maybe like play 3 or 4 that I was part of. I'd seen a couple scripts, and I could tell this play that I was doing in 8th grade was very clearly written for children to perform. And I was a sophisticated humorist. I was a little bit of a snob, and a little arrogant because I was 14 years old. A 14-year-old boy in the countryside in Pennsylvania. And I said to my teacher in the middle of rehearsal one day, I said, "Mrs. Fisher, this play sucks. I can write better than this." And she said to me, "Okay, Peter, go home and write a play. If it's any good, I'll do it next year."
Wow.
So
No pressure.
yeah, no pressure, no pressure. But I mean, Mrs. Fisher was a little crazy herself, and I was a little crazy, and I think we just kind of like found each other's freak a little bit. But I did go home and I wrote a play because I think this was just a very natural outlet for me. Now, I mean, like I've acted before. I still act now here and again, but for whatever reason, I really connected with writing all the characters' lines as opposed to just delivering one character's lines, as it were. This really worked for me. And so I sent Mrs. Fisher the script, and she said, "Peter, this is really good. I want to do it next year. I think it needs a couple more drafts, but I want to do it next year." And I said, "Great." And that play actually exists on New Play Exchange. Good Night and Goodbye. It's been done a couple times by a couple different schools over the years. And that's kind of how I got started.
And you wear a multitude of hats from obviously writing and directing, as well as the many titles you have listed under miscellaneous life experience on your resume. What is it you love to do most, or is it just an equal labor of love for you?
I would say that my favorite part of the creative process is seeing characters come to life. So I would say the key difference between like novel writing versus playwriting, screenwriting. With novel writing, the author creates the entire character themselves, and then the reader, imagines what the character is.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love about playwriting, screenwriting is the collaborative effort of bringing a character to life. So I would say in a play, the resulting characters are sort of the collective interpretation of the writer's original intent, which, obviously we always have ideas when we create our characters, and we can have very fully formed ideas of what a character should be. But I would say it really comes alive when you bring an actor in and you bring a director in. And it's sort of the triangulation of those 3 points of view that bring the character to life. It's the words on the page, it's the director's direction, and the actor's being that bring a character to life. And that's just like, sometimes you don't really know what you have until you see the character in front of you. And that's my favorite part of the process. That's what I love the most.
And obviously, you already mentioned New Play Exchange, where you
Mhm.
have a truly exceptional collection of plays.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Are there any particular topics you like to write about, or genres you like to write in, or is it a little bit of everything?
Yeah, it turns out to be a little bit of everything, but I would say when you look at my seven existing plays, I've written seven full lengths. I have a couple like little offshoots here and there. I think I just have maybe two short plays that are in addition to the seven.
Mm,
But across my entire body of work, I would say I write to make people laugh and
mm,
think.
mm,
But I would say my style often lends itself to dark comedy.
mm,
Dark comedy and some amount of exploring what it's like to be human.
mm,
So like I would say my best example of this would probably be Abandon All Hope, which is sort of my flagship show. That's the one that opened in New York a couple years ago. And yeah, it's just about exploring what it's like to be a person or whatever I'm annoyed with at the moment.
mm. Oh,
Um, but yeah, I would say dark comedy that makes people laugh and think.
mm. So as you mentioned, you had productions, several of them, including off
Mhm.
Broadway, which is just incredible. Um,
Thanks.
but if money were no object, which of your plays would you choose to bring to life, or what new play would you write, and why?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm always thinking ahead.
Mm,
Like the things that I've written already have been great snapshots, or things that have already gone up, I should say, are
mm,
great snapshots of like where I was in the moment that I wrote them.
mm,
And so if money were no object, I would of course bring the next one to life.
mm,
So I currently have one completely unproduced play that is on New Play Exchange if anyone wants to read it. It's called Blue Skies Yonder.
mm.
It is a murder mystery that I use to explore late stage capitalism and also what
Okay.
it's like to work in the entertainment industry.
That is an interesting combination of ideas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You've drawn me in, if nothing else.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's I love Agatha Christie. And so like one of the first plays I ever read was The Mousetrap. This takes a similar mousetrap scenario but sets it in 2025 at a
Okay.
book launch party
Ah.
and people die.
As is the case in murder mysteries, yes.
As is the case in murder mysteries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that would be my pick. It's currently out on submission. We'll see what happens. Haven't gotten a bite yet, but that is the playwright journey. Only takes one yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Um, just while I think about it, for anyone out there listening who does not know what New Play Exchange is, it is a fabulous resource. It costs between $12 and $18 a year, depending on whether you go pro reader or writer or not. And it contains hundreds of thousands of plays written by amazing playwrights all over the world, including Peter and myself.
yes.
Um, if you are looking for your next production, if you're looking to just get an idea of how to write a play or looking for inspiration, it's a wonderful resource and very cost effective. It's less
Yes.
than $1 a month.
Honestly, yeah. I've met so many people as a result of New Play Exchange. Rachel and I are having this conversation right now as a direct result of being active on New Play Exchange and finding each other.
Yep.
You know? So yeah, I fully endorse New Play Exchange. You should get on it if you're not on it already.
So what kind of projects have you been involved in this year? Has it been busy for you or not so much?
Yeah, 2025 has been a lovely year. I had a very busy spring. There was at one point there were five different shows in rehearsal that had my name on it
Oh
somewhere.
my God.
Yeah. My day job, I work as a marketing associate for a small professional theater company, so that was one of them.
Ah, okay.
But there were four other plays in rehearsal. Two different schools were doing Good Night and Goodbye at once. I had a workshop production of I Think We're Lost, which is my Peter Pan retelling, my edgy
Hmm.
Peter Pan retelling.
Yeah.
That was a high school out in Salt Lake City did a workshop production of that. That was lovely as well. And what was the fifth one? I am also working on a film project. I've partnered with a independent film director here in the US, out in my hometown in the Philly suburbs area. And we've written a feature film together, and we're, in the process of raising money to try to go shoot that this coming spring.
So you don't sleep much then?
No. I've not really slept since probably since undergrad. So I've not slept in 10 years.
As is the way of creatives. And last but not least, what is your standout moment? A moment that has you thinking, yeah, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah. I would say the standout moments for me has been the opportunities I've gotten to connect with casts that are doing my shows. So like I love characters and I love actors, and I've loved every chance I've gotten to meet with casts, especially if I've been not involved in the process of bringing the show to life, but especially seeing kids who are in these shows talking about how their character journey has affected them, or talking about how, or like, I don't know, when I went to Utah and I saw the kids doing I Think We're Lost, and then they would tag me in their posts recapping the show, and like they would use quotes that I had put in the script in their Instagram captions. It's like that just it's amazing to know that your words have touched somebody.
So now we move on to our playwright and play for this episode. Beth Harpus recently quit her job to pursue playwriting after decades as a journalist for the Associated Press and other US news outlets. She's currently looking for a home for a 3-act play called Under the Great Wave, about New Yorkers getting through the pandemic. Beth's play we'll hear shortly is called And I Ate a Pear, and it won Best Script, Best Actor and Best Director at the John DeSotelle Actors Studio NuWorks Festival in New York City in 2024. The play was also produced for an Immigrants in America festival in New York. When talking about her inspiration for the play, Beth says, "I'm a native New Yorker, a licensed New York City tour guide and a volunteer Big Apple greeter. Nearly every sentence in this play is rooted in real conversations I've had with tourists visiting New York for the first time." In the play, we see a visitor to New York City encounters a native New Yorker aboard the Staten Island Ferry. But while the visitor has lots of questions, the New Yorker has only some of the answers. Theatrical Shenanigans presents And I Ate a Pear by Beth Harpus.
Welcome aboard the Staten Island Ferry. Please familiarize yourself with the location of life jackets on this ferry. Thank you for riding the Staten Island Ferry.
Excuse me, sir.
Huh? Are you talking to me?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
What are you thanking me for? I haven't done anything.
Thank you for talking to me.
Okay. Do you need help with something?
Yes, thank you. Where do I go for the Statue of Liberty?
Right, of course, I should have known. Some days it seems like the only people on this boat besides me are tourists. All right, well, you're on the right side of the boat for a good look. But you probably want to go to the back and upstairs for the best view.
The best view? But how do I get off the boat?
Well, when we get to Staten Island, everybody has to get off. Just follow everybody off the boat.
But some people stay on for the other island, Ellis Island, the Immigration Museum, no? That's what I read on the internet.
Oh, wait a minute. You're on the wrong boat. You should have gotten on the boat to the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island. You got on the Staten Island Ferry, not the Liberty Island Ferry.
I did? Oh, no. What does that mean? So where am I going?
You're going to Staten Island.
I don't want to go to Staten Island.
Yeah, very few people do.
How do I turn around?
Well, when the boat docks on Staten Island, you get off. Take the next boat back to Manhattan. Then you walk a little ways along the waterfront to the Statue of Liberty boats. You didn't buy a ticket for the Statue of Liberty?
No, it's free. I walk through like everyone else.
Well, the Staten Island Ferry is free, but the Statue of Liberty Ferry is not free. You have to buy a ticket for that.
Oh, I see. How much does that cost?
I'm not sure. I live here. Most New Yorkers see, we really don't do things like that.
Like what?
Like going to the Statue of Liberty.
You don't? Why not?
I mean, no offense, but it's one of those tourist things. You're just here for a visit, right? Where are you from?
I'm from Turkey. This is my first time in New York, but I love it here already. I came here to go to nursing school, but my dream is to find a way to stay forever. And I'm trying to see as much as I can before classes begin.
Where are you staying?
I go to a dormitory when school starts. For now, I'm in a hostel in Queens.
A hostel? I didn't know we had those in New York. Is it safe?
Yes, I think so. Everyone is like me, you know. Mostly young people from other countries. We're all on a budget. People are nice about sharing. If they get too much food at a restaurant, they bring it back to the hostel and leave it for the other people to eat. Restaurants here are so expensive, but they give much more food than anyone should eat at one time. This is why Americans are fat.
Oh, is that why we have an obesity epidemic? Too much restaurant food. Okay. Interesting. Hey, are you hungry now by any chance? I just finished a pear, but I have an apple in my pocket if you'd like it. I got them from the fruit guy in the park just now.
The fruit guy? I don't. Well, I mean, you don't mind to share? Or I buy it from you?
Oh, no, of course. Please take the apple. I would love it if you did. There's this poem about the ferry by a famous writer. You probably never heard of her. She's not all that famous. Her name was Edna St. Vincent Millay. Anyway, one of the lines of the poem is, "And you ate an apple, and I ate a pear." So it would be kind of funny if we were doing that, you know? I ate a pear, now you eat an apple.
Teşekkürler.
Huh?
It means thank you in my language. I don't know the poem, but it sounds very nice.
Oh, hey, you can actually see the Statue of Liberty from here. We're coming up on it now, see?
Oh, let me get a picture. It's beautiful. Wow. We always hear about it. It's so big up close. And so green.
You know, maybe you don't need to go there now that you got that selfie.
You think so?
That's up to you, but you know, like I said, it's not a thing New Yorkers would do.
Okay, I understand. How about brunch, though? You do brunch, right? That's a New Yorker thing. You do it every day or just some days? Like in your house, or you go to a cafe? Or do you get brunch to go? Everyone wants to know if I want my food to go.
Brunch? No, I don't really eat brunch. Someone else is paying, maybe. But maybe if I lived, I don't know, on the Upper West Side, I'd do brunch. But I live on Staten Island. We don't really do brunch. We just eat a bagel or something. Or maybe a bacon, egg, and cheese, you know?
No, I don't really know, but thank you for reminding me that I need to find a bagel. And pizza, right? Pizza. Or is that not a real New York thing either?
Oh, that's definitely a New York thing. I eat pizza like 3 times a week. It's the cheapest thing you can get and still called food. And it's almost always delicious, and it costs the same as getting on the subway, and somehow it actually fills you up.
Is pizza connected to the subway?
I didn't mean actually connected. But the price for a slice has been the same price as getting on the subway for like 50 years or so, they say. Never mind, it's complicated.
It's good to know that pizza is the same as the subway. Sometimes water costs the same as the subway.
You don't have to buy water. There's water fountains everywhere. You can get a free glass of water in any restaurant. People just drink from the faucet in their apartments.
They do, but the water smells so funny. It must taste terrible.
What? Have you tried it? Don't you know that our water wins contests? I mean, they have these water tasting contests with water from like all over the place. And New York water always wins. You never heard that?
No, I didn't know that. I can't imagine. I have to hold my nose in the shower at the hostel. The water smells like a swimming pool.
Oh, well, excuse me. They have to put chlorine in it to keep it safe.
The water in my town comes from a mountain. They don't have to put chlorine in it to keep it safe.
The water in my town comes from mountains too. The Catskill Mountains. They're in upstate New York. Oh, never mind. So let's see. What else have you done since you arrived?
Well, I walked across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Of course you did. Yeah, that's another thing I've never done.
You don't go to Times Square either? Or Central Park?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Times Square and Central Park, but I don't go there for fun on a regular basis.
Maybe I should go see some things on Staten Island. What is there to do?
Oh, there's a lot to do on Staten Island, actually. We've got a million parks, really beautiful ones with forests and lakes. And we've got this place called Snug Harbor with a garden and an art museum. And let's see. Oh, you've heard of Frederick Olmsted? He's the guy who designed Central Park. Well, he had a farm out on Staten Island, and you can see the trees he planted. Oh, and there's this thing called the Conference House. Ben Franklin, John Adams, they were these guys from 1776 when we did the Declaration of Independence. You heard of that, right? And they had a conference on Staten Island to make peace with the British. And never mind. I guess that's not exactly on the top 10 reasons to visit New York. Not like Times Square.
How about supermodels? Do you have those on Staten Island?
Huh?
I've been here for 2 days and I haven't seen any supermodels. I've been looking in the windows of the places with the brunch, and I've been looking to see who gets out of fancy cars. But I haven't seen any supermodels.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you're gonna find them. I mean, they're probably here somewhere, but not on the Staten Island Ferry. Hey, listen, we're almost there. So you're gonna get off the boat and take the next boat back to Manhattan. And if you still want to go to the Statue of Liberty, you just buy the ticket and get on a different boat.
I still don't understand why I have to get off the boat if I'm going back to Manhattan. The boat turns around, doesn't it?
I don't know. It's just the rule.
That's funny. It doesn't seem like there are that many rules in New York. But this rule is important?
What do you mean?
Well, I see people going on the subway without paying, and I see people sleeping on the street, and I see people taking their dogs into restaurants, and I see people stealing things.
You've seen people stealing things?
Yes, in this amazing store called Rite Aid that sells everything you could possibly need. I mean, everything. Food and water and medicine and socks and candy and...
Yeah, I know what Rite Aid is.
Well, I have to go to Rite Aid many times because everything I need, they have it. But I notice a lot of people take things and walk out without paying, and nobody stops them. Anyway, it's funny that there are no rules for things like that. But there is this silly rule on this boat that I have to get off in order to get on again. But maybe you're right about the Statue of Liberty. Now that I have seen it from the ferry, maybe I don't have to visit.
That's up to you, obviously, but you'll get to see it again on the way back. And this time you can take a picture of Miss Liberty without an apple in your mouth.
So you're going home now? What were you doing in Manhattan?
Oh, I was busking in the city today. I mean Manhattan. When you don't live in Manhattan, you call Manhattan the city. Anyway, that's why I have my guitar here, just making a little cash, you know. Gotta eat somehow.
What do you mean?
Oh, I meant I was playing guitar on the street. Or sometimes I go down into the subway and play on the platform. People give you money. You can actually make some decent money. $100 in a few hours if you're lucky.
Will you play a song now? I would love to hear This Land Is Your Land.
No. You're actually not allowed to play musical instruments on the ferry.
Also a rule?
Unfortunately, yes. I would love to play something for you, but it's not allowed.
Maybe I should come with you to Staten Island so you can bus there and play for me.
Busk with a K. No, that's not a good idea. No, sorry. You'll get off the boat and get right back on the next one. And when you get back to Manhattan, if you don't want to go to the Statue of Liberty, you can, I don't know, go find a supermodel in Times Square. Go walk the High Line. Isn't that a thing tourists like to do?
Oh, yes, I did that already. It was very nice. I suppose you never did that either.
Yeah, I'm afraid not.
You have been very nice to me. I'm very grateful. What's your name?
Tony. And what's yours? I should have asked.
Julia.
Pretty name. Not a name we hear much in New York.
I wish I could come with you, Tony. I would like to see a typical New York City apartment. I would like to see how a real New Yorker lives. Do you have cockroaches in your kitchen? And rats?
Actually, I don't have an apartment.
Oh, you live in a house?
No. Well, I have a car. And I kind of live in my car.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are homeless?
Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah. I mean, I don't think of myself that way, but...
I didn't realize. I feel bad for you. I shouldn't have eaten your apple. I don't have a lot of money, but let me give you something.
No, it's fine. I made some money today with the guitar, and I'll be able to buy some dinner. I'm not going to be one of those people stealing things from Rite Aid, don't you worry. Maybe I'll splurge on a pizza. Or brunch.
It must get very hot in the car in the summer.
I have a little tent. Staten Island has a lot of beaches. Some nights I pitch my tent on the sand and sleep there. It's really nice, actually, listening to the ocean at night.
But how do you stay? I mean, you seem so...
Clean? Is that what you're trying to say? I try to stay nice and neat, that's all. I have some friends, and I can shower at their houses, and I use public bathrooms.
I'm impressed that you can find public bathrooms. I'm having a hard time with that. Only in Starbucks are there bathrooms, I think. But please explain this. I do not really understand why you live in your car or a tent. How could this happen? In my country, this would not. I mean, is this also a thing that New Yorkers do? They live in a car.
Well, no. Most New Yorkers don't have cars, but Staten Island's a little different. My car belonged to my mom, and she died, so I got it, and, well, it's a long story. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your mother. I didn't mean to ask about something private.
It's okay. Well, we're just about here.
Thank you, Tony. I'm sad to say goodbye to you. You're the first real New Yorker I have been able to talk to. You're like someone out of a movie or a TV show. I wish we could keep standing on the ferry talking. To me, it's more fun than Times Square.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean, but I'll take that as a compliment.
That poem you mentioned about the apple and the pear, before you go, will you say it for me? Since I can't have this land as your land, I can have a poem? Or is that against the rules too?
No, that's not against the rules. Let's see if I can remember it. We were very tired. We were very merry. We had gone back and forth all night on the ferry. You ate an apple and I ate a pear from a dozen of each that we'd bought somewhere. And the sky went wan and the wind came cold. The sun rose dripping, a bucket full of gold. We were very tired. We were very merry. We had gone back and forth all night on the ferry. We hailed "Good morrow, mother," to a shawl-covered head, bought a morning paper which neither of us read. And she wept "God bless you" for the apples and pears. And we gave her all our money but our subway fares.
Thank you, Tony. That is beautiful. Please, take this.
No, don't be silly. You're eating strangers' leftovers in a hostel, for God's sakes. I'm fine.
You sure? Okay. I feel bad now, but if you are sure...
I am sure. Don't feel bad.
All passengers must depart the ferry at this time. Passengers wishing to make the return trip must exit into the terminal and enter the waiting room to await the next ferry.
Güle güle, Tony. I'm glad I met you. Hey, I'm going to the Empire State Building tomorrow morning when it opens. I'm sure you have never been there. If you have nothing else to do, meet me outside, okay?
Maybe I will. You never know. Anyway, enjoy. Who knows? Maybe I'll see you tomorrow and we can sing "This Land Is Your Land" together outside the Empire State Building.
Well, I I couldn't think of two people who needed to be brought together more. That was George Sapio as Tony and Julia Corti as Julia in And I
Ah,
Ate a Pear by Beth Harpers. Peter, what did you
lovely
think?
work. I thought it was wonderful. So I live very close to New York City.
Mm.
I would not call myself a New Yorker as of yet. However, I do know many real New Yorkers. What I see with this play is that there's a gap between how a city is viewed by people visiting it versus by the people who live there.
Mm.
And to have that be presented for a city that I know quite well, and I understood the references and the oh yeah, that is something that tourists do versus what quote real New Yorkers
Yeah.
unquote do. It was interesting, and it made me not just think about New York. It made me think about every city. I mean, I was just in London over the
Mm.
summer, and I'm sure I did only things that tourists do in London. And you know, I think there's sort of a universal desire to know what locals do,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, I mean, in the first kind of couple of lines, when she thanks him and he says, "What are you thanking me for? I haven't done anything." And she says, "Thank you for talking to me." That
Hmm.
rang so true because you go to, well, I mean, I can't speak for all major cities, but you go up to London, especially on a weekday, and you try and stop someone for directions.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them will just bulldoze right past you because
Hmm.
they've all got somewhere to be, and
Yeah.
it's a city that never stops moving.
Yeah.
And so to have that moment of a person genuinely stopping to, you know, talk to a person and care about another person
Yeah.
is a wonderful reflection of how humanity can be.
Absolutely.
Um,
It was nice to see this moment of humanity and the integration of the poem into the play. I did go and look up the poem. I had not heard it before, which is why I
no.
looked it up. But it was just like it was a moment of two strangers connecting and sharing a moment of humanity. Like I think one of the things that I think is true in general that I think this play definitely illustrates is that people are more alike than we are different,
Hmm.
like in general. And so here's somebody from Eastern Europe and somebody who is a technically homeless musician in Staten Island. They're on a boat together, and it's just this moment of shared humanity,
Hmm.
and it was lovely.
I did I did find myself being educated as well because
Yeah,
I had never been to New York. I had no
sure.
idea about the ferries of either Staten
Yeah.
Island or such Liberty and Ellis Island. The idea that you can't play a musical instrument on the ferry seems
Yep.
ludicrous to me.
Yep. It is a known norm in New York that on public transit you do not play instruments. Now that's
Wow.
different than there are musicians that hang out in like a subway station
Mm,
or like waiting on a subway platform
yeah.
playing musical instruments, but like, oh no, 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 no. You do not get on a public transit of any kind, whether it's by rail or by sea or by bus and start playing a musical instrument. That's very frowned upon.
Yeah, but it was, as I say, it goes from stuff like that to silly little things like the price of pizza being the same for like 50
Mhm.
years. And you just
Ah,
think, that's incredible. Ugh. Um, but yeah, the back and forth for dialogue, despite the fact that there's a slight language barrier
mhm.
there, it still flows and it's lovely. And I
Was.
almost like the slight language barrier as well because it leads to like wonderfully funny moments like the pizza
Mhm.
being connected to the subway.
Yeah. It kind of forces you to lean in a little harder and to be clear and meticulous about the words that you choose, right? And I think that the playwright did a wonderful job of illustrating that in this play. Like it felt very real that we had an American, a New Yorker, and an Eastern European having this conversation with the slight gaps and with the slight awkward pauses, such as, you know, is the pizza connected to the subway? Um, and the confusion about needing to get off the ferry to go back on and having that be a little source of confusion there,
Yeah.
trying to understand why. Yeah.
And I love the question, do you have supermodels on Staten Island?
Do you have supermodels on Staten
Just the
Island?
idea
The
of
answer is no.
the idea of models just wandering around Staten Island. The thing is that it starts out as what appears to be just a generic conversation between
Mhm.
a tourist and a local, and then
Yeah.
you discover more about Tony's life, and it does
Yeah.
take that little kind of tug on the heartstrings when you realize that he
Mhm.
is,
Living in his car.
yeah, living in his car. And
I didn't see that coming.
no,
I thought that was a beautiful character work on the playwright's part, to pull that in.
Hmm.
But really, you end up feeling empathy for both characters in this two-hander, in a beautiful and unexpected way.
The only thing that is like not even a negative, but now I want to know. Is he going to see her again? Like,
Yeah.
I just that little bit at the end, and she hadn't said about going to the Empire State Building, it
Yeah.
would have, it would have circled it off nicely, and they meet, they chat,
Meet the
they
chat.
part. But then by
Yeah.
giving us that, by dangling that little string in front of her, he's like, well, now
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So based on so if a New Yorker says, and I mean, like, again, this is gross stereotypes. But I would say if a New Yorker says, maybe I'll do that, they probably will.
Again, that's the language difference between American and English. Because if you invite someone to do something and they go, "Oh yeah, maybe," that probably means no.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just trying to get you out of their house or off the
Trying to end the
phone.
conversation.
Yeah, maybe. Um, but yeah, it's a wonderful cliffhanger moment because you don't know whether they're going to meet, and you get the feeling that she does want to reconnect with him because
Yeah.
she's only found out about his situation like 2, 3 pages before the end,
Mhm.
and she's tried to make things right, and obviously he's not accepted, but she still wants to get to know him as a person. That much is evident. But I say, not only do we get given these two wonderfully real characters, but through their conversation, you can almost see in your mind's eye the experiences they've had or are describing. The playwright has given it a wonderfully real feeling.
Yes. Very vivid imagery. Um, like I could see the inside of his car, even though he didn't really describe what was in the car, I could see it.
Mm.
Just based on the portrait of the character that was drawn throughout the scene, you could infer a very vivid picture, even as he's just talking about the fact that he lives in his car. Same thing with the hostel, and the woman.
Yeah.
She didn't talk much about the hostel specifically, but I could see it in my head. And the communal living that she's describing, like it's the playwright did a wonderful job of painting the picture of what's going on off stage as vividly as what is on stage.
Mm.
And I think that that's a wonderful thing that she did.
Okay, we are almost out of time. Peter, your final thoughts on the piece as a whole?
I keep going back to this is a wonderful illustration of people being more similar than they are different. And I think when we do take a moment to lean in and listen to each other, we'll find that we have so much in common. And I think Beth did a wonderful job of creating a scene where we see and hear that. And it's lovely.
Yeah.
I love New York.
I couldn't agree more. Up until you said I love New York, so I can't comment there.
Well,
I'll visit one day, hopefully.
Someday. Let me know.
Well, okay, we are out of time, Peter. Thank you so much for being here and discussing this play and talking about all the incredible things you've done.
Thanks so much for having me, Rachel.
And that is all we have time for in the 7th episode of Theatrical Shenanigans. I hope you enjoyed our play today and my chat with Peter. As always, if you have enjoyed this episode or any others, you can always tell us so with a review on our Facebook page or a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another play and another fabulous guest, but in the meantime though, I've been Rachel Feeney-Williams, this is Theatrical Shenanigans, bringing down the curtain and saying, I hope you can join us next time. Theatrical Shenanigans is part of an RFW Scripts production. Found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts and Podbean. Theme music is written and produced by Chris Cody.